Last chance, senior year. I mean, you certainly don't want to be one of those few groups that leaves here without getting a win in the rivalry game and leaving the fans another year to kind of dwell on that and just kind of talk about the pressures of.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of spoke up in our senior meeting yesterday. I told all the seniors, no one in this room knows what it feels like to beat Carolina. So, I mean, it would be a huge opportunity to go out and just be remembered by this game. Just finally get a win. We haven't won in 5 games, so. I just kind of reiterated that to the seniors, saying this is a game that we could be remembered for the rest of our lives, and we'll look back on and take a lot away from it. So it's a huge game, and we understand that, and we're looking forward to it.
Dabo said today that it's with all the great things that's been done around here, he doesn't wake up miserable every day dwelling on this. But about how big a void would it be for you seniors with all the great things you've done here, what kind of void would it be to not get the victory in this one?
Yeah, I mean, he's right. We've done a lot of great things around here, but I think in the back of our minds we all realize that one of the biggest games of the year, if not the biggest, is the state championship game. And especially for the seniors, we realize that, hanging around the fans and the students a lot, how big of a game it is to them, and it's just as big to us. So we know, we don't know the feeling of what it is to win. I think that's a hunger that we all have as a senior group and as a whole team, that we really want to experience a win against Carolina, and to do it at home in my last home game as a senior would be awesome.
What's the confidence level of you guys on offense? It seems like things have been a little up and down, and even last week, like Chad and Dabo were having to say, like, we wanted the guys to be confident, get some confidence back. I mean,
yeah, last week was a big step for that. Obviously, we had struggles against GT, but to go out there against Georgia State, rush the ball like we did was great to see. Tyshawn Dye coming back out there and really hitting some holes, and just seeing Cole make some confident throws. The post route he threw to Mike Williams in the end zone was a real confident throw, and it was good to see that by him. And just those small things we can take away from Georgia State really boost our confidence going into this week, and really looking forward to the game plan that we have in place for this week, and I think it should be a good game.
How many times in the last 3 days have you heard words turnovers or don't turn it over or something to that effect?
I think I've heard it every day since I've been here, honestly. I mean, they put such an emphasis on that. I mean, obviously, winning the turnover margin is big for the final outcome of the game, and I think Sweeney has some statistic that he tells us a lot. We're so-and-so and so-and-so when we win the turnover margin. So, I mean, it really is a big deal, and especially when it comes down to games like this against 2 good teams, taking care of the ball is very important.
Specifically in this game, this South Carolina matchup, and is it not just the turnovers, but what happens after them, whether it be you guys capitalizing on offense or the defense making a stop if you guys turn it over? Yeah,
I mean, it's a game of field position, and turning the ball over with a short field and giving them 30, 40 yards to get in the end zone is not good for us. And same way on the other side, if we can steal a possession and get some good field position, it's really beneficial to us. So, turnovers play on the side of field position, and it's also motivation. All that goes into play with that. So, I mean, obviously taking care of the ball is a huge factor in coming out with a win this Saturday.
Those countdown clocks that are around the building, is that something you look at any differently this week, or is it like almost like just part of the furniture now?
Yeah, no, we've had them up all season, and it's something you kind of glance when you come out of your meeting room, and you just want to focus on the game that Saturday, whoever we're playing. But now that it's Carolina week, I kind of spend a little bit more time looking at it. I'm just realizing it's finally here. I got a few days left, so it means a lot more. And to have those clocks up, it just hits us every day, saying, we got to get this win.
The clocks get talked about a lot, but also just shots. Is that the stuff that also gets to you, because that's what you guys have had to put up with every day that clock's been up there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's something that the coaches did just to remind us that we haven't won in 5 years. So as a player, as a competitor, you don't like to see that being shoved in your face. But it's an effective tool. I mean, I think we've all kind of gained a little motivation from that, and maybe a little spark for this week.
Do you have a particular family member, friend, maybe even ex-coach that's the absolute maybe worst to deal with when you lose this game when you go back home? Somebody that kind of stands out.
No, I really can't think of a guy like that. I like to hang around good people, not someone who's gonna rub that in my face. But you know, there are some fans out there that'll give you some mean comments. But I mean, that comes with the territory. But you know, a lot of coaches back home, they're supportive, and you know, they want to get the win just as much as I do. But they understand it's a game and things can happen and stuff like that. So. Not in particular. I don't have a situation like that.
I hear a lot of times these state rivalries for players that aren't from that state. It's not as heated for them. It's just it is just another game. But when you are from this state, you got yourself, Robert, whoever else, is there a little extra?
Yeah, because growing up through elementary school all the way through high school, there's Clemson Carolina Day. There's fundraisers. There's people wearing their favorite team shirts, and it's a whole week-long process, a whole year-long process, and a lot of trash talking goes into that. And being from the state, you know, I was a part of that as a fan. And talking to Grady and Stefan and some of the guys who aren't from this state, they were telling me, you know, freshman year they didn't realize the impact this game has on the entire state, and now that they've been in it for the past 3 or 4 years, they realize, and they're kind of buying into, you know, the rivalry game. So it's like you said, it was a big deal for me my entire life, but I think all the guys who aren't from the state are starting to realize how big of a deal it is.
What about South Carolina's defense? They're different this year than they have been in the past. You know, in the past they've been dominant this year. What do you see out of these guys?
Yeah, earlier in the year I think they had a different scheme. They've kind of changed it up a little bit, and it's seemed to be pretty effective for them. But you know, they always have talent on their defense. Good secondary from what I've seen. Fast, physical. You know, not really different from what I've seen in the past. You know, we know a lot of guys on the defense personally, so you know, from what I've seen on film, they're not much different than they have been. They're going to be fast and physical and make plays. So we're going to prepare the same way we have, and looking forward to the challenge.
One of their cornerbacks is going to be out there moving the safety up to that spot. Does that change the way maybe you guys would attack them at all?
I don't think it changes the way we'll attack them, but I mean it affects their depth obviously with how they rotate. But you know, we're gonna, like I said, we'll approach the game the same way. You know, we're not sure where they're gonna put certain guys in certain spots, so it's up in the air and for that perspective. But you know, we're just gonna approach it the same way and just go out there and try to make plays with whoever we're matched up against.
This senior class has 40 wins to its credit. One more would put you on the top of that chart. Are you guys, do you know that, and is it significant in some way? Or?
Yeah, we do know that. At the beginning of the year, we had a senior meeting, and we came up with one word that we wanted to describe our seniors, and it was legendary. And I think that word is something that we can grasp hold of if we do set that record. So you know, as a senior group, we have been successful in the past, and unfortunately we haven't gotten a win against Carolina, but this would be just a great way to go out with a win and just kind of complete that overall win streak finally. So it's something that we would like to do, but ultimately we're just trying to get the win. Awesome. Thank you.
Appreciate it.